Alright, this is going to be video number 2 on my 2005 Subaru WRX. Finally have a garage that I can work out of now. I got a few parts. I got a front lip that I got to check out. I got the PCV valve that needs to be changed, and since I'm going to be under there already, I went ahead and got the Perrin pitch stop mount. I'm going to change that. So I guess let's go ahead and take a look at this front lip that I got. Rip it open real quick. This is how it came shipped. Oops. Alright, so the box is open. Take it out. Take a look at it. Let me put this camera on the mount. Actually, let's see. Okay. Here's that front lip that I got. I got it for a 2006, 2007 WRX STI. And let's see. Yeah. Appears to be fairly straightforward. Comes with some hardware right here. Looks like these are all self-tapping screws. I might try to get some other screws and bolts. But yeah, garage now. It's too hot working outside when I was doing the valve cover gaskets. But here you go. Time to start doing it. Alright, time has come to change out this PCV valve. I'm hoping this is going to stop the oil consumption issues that this car is having. I hear that that's a regular occurrence because it runs and idles fine, but it is burning oil. So I got these hose clamps just in case. The factory ones I can't reuse. Got my 12mm socket, and I'm going to use that. I got these 12mm bolt here on the intercooler. I'm going to unhook these 3 10mm bolts here. This one here. 12mm bolt on the other side of the intercooler, and then I'm going to unhook the bypass valve with these other 2 12mm bolts, and then I should be able to wiggle out the intercooler. I guess also gotta just untighten that intercooler bracket right there. Alright, see when I get all that done. Alright, I'm pretty good so far. Got the bolts undone. I think I still have to come back here, and I loosened the Y pipe connection to the turbo. I think that is going to allow me to slide it off. I already have the intercooler, which looks like it has some oil present in it. I also already have that off. So yeah, time to pull this off. I'm going to pause for a second. The intercooler's out, and there's the pitch stop mount. Here's the Perrin. That's going to fit right in there. It's a 14mm here on this side, and a 14mm back here. I've already gone and loosened them up. I'm going to go ahead and change this real quick and then get back to the install of the PCV valve. Okay, here's the factory WRX pitch stop mount. I have them out, and here's the Perrin that's going to be going in to replace it. That's the bolt from the back. These are the front bolts. Be careful with this washer. I dropped mine, but luckily it fell right through. So when you're taking off the nut, make sure you hold on to the washer and then this will go back on the other side. Okay, gonna install that next. All right, the pit stop mount is in. This car is officially modified, and now we're gonna attempt to deal with this PCV valve, which that happens to be this right here. Okay, so I have to get this disconnected. The new connector piece is white, and then the valve goes all the way down here. This is the valve itself, this plastic piece. So I gotta get these off and try to get this in. Again, I hope this is gonna solve my oil consumption problems, according to my research. Well, it was quite an ordeal, but I got the PCV valve off. This one's pretty gunked up oil-wise. The new one, of course, clean. So now comes the part of putting it back together. Hopefully this solves the oil consumption. Well, this piece on the factory piece at the bottom was so hard and brittle that I ended up having to kind of cut it off. It started at 4:30. The parent mount took about 10 minutes, and it's now 6 o'clock. So I'm going to put these back in and hopefully finish up this job. That'll be the next time you see me with everything back together. Alright, here we go. Alright, there's the valve in. Time to put back on the intercooler. Everything else is done. Well, the hardest part of this whole thing was getting the intercooler back on. The intercooler back on. And this tab right here on the stock Y pipe, that's how you get it back on to the turbo section. I could not wiggle it back on. You gotta throw a screwdriver in here, flathead, and press it against the intercooler basically, and that will pop the Y pipe back on. Okay, I'm gonna button these hoses up and I should be good to go. I think I'm done. Okay, everything is back in. Tightened up the intercooler bolts. Tightened up these vacuum bolts. Let's see, there's one there, 2, 3. I put the gasket and tightened back up the bypass valve, and tighten back up the intercooler hoses. One right there as well on the turbo. And now it's just time to test drive. I'll give my thoughts at the end for the Perrin pit stop mount, and I guess I'll have to come back and review whether my oil consumption changes. But everything is in. There's the new PCV valve. We're good to go.